Welcome to another episode of the Quip Corners Book Corner. My guest today is someone I met at a conference, totally perchance. You'll see her bio right after this. Join us in the book corner. Welcome to the Quip Corners Book Corner, Eunice.
Thank you so much, Pastor Ada. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy we could make this work. Interesting how God made us meet unexpectedly.
And unexpected, you can say that again.
Yeah. Well, God works in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We thank God for making this a date. And Amen. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So one of the things that I had the great fortune of getting is an autographed copy. Well, people can't see the autograph, but I can see it's autographed. An autographed copy of your book. I haven't read it yet. And so I don't have the opportunity of spoiling it for anyone. Why don't you start off by telling us the background story? Why did you write this book?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ada. It started a few years ago. I developed this passion and this like heart cry when I watch the news about suicides, among the youth, teenagers, drug overdose, trauma and all of that. So that brought back my own memory. I remember growing up, how I had it rough, and the traumas that I experienced and all of that. My parents separated, they were divorced when I was in diapers, So, and that, it's really, I could relate to some of those stories when I hear it. Apart from, parental divorce, another thing I experienced growing up was poverty and sexual abuse. So the background of some of this suicide that we see is as a result of their trauma. And, I thought, I've been there. I've been through sexual abuse, I've been through poverty, parental divorce, so I can share my story with the world. How did I navigate life growing up as a teenager, young adult? How did I make it? So, and, with all other people around me too, with similar stories. So I thought I can share my story and the stories of others to bring hope, to bring healing, to bring deliverance to people. And so that was the background of the book. That's how it all started. So I put pen to paper, and here we are today.
Wow, that is such a beautiful, beautiful story. And I have had the privilege of engaging with a couple of other authors who, like you, stepped up to the plate to tell their story. So I want to thank you for that courage and kindness, of stepping up to the plate, because like I continue to say, when we tell our story, we give other people the permission to own and tell their own story. So thank you very, very much for doing that.
I count it as a privilege. I'm so humbled. So many people have stories, but God chose me that you need to tell your story to the world. It's not everyone that has the opportunity. So I see it as a privilege, as an honor for God to have chosen me, that I want you to bring your story to the world. I want your story to bring healing, to bring comfort to people,
Amen.
and to,
Amen.
that have been through trauma.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful to God, and thank you for saying that. I count it as an honor to do this. I don't know why God chose me, but here
It's not,
we
well,
are.
it's not for you to figure it out, right? It's just for you to
I am
know.
thankful. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So you said the book contains not just your story, other people's stories.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
So
Oh,
initially, I wanted
mm-hmm.
to be my story solely.
Yeah.
And my editor said, bring more stories into it so that it won't be like it's only you that this method work for, because it's about the 3 Ps of dealing with trauma. So we don't want to be one-sided. So there are other people that have used these tools that you describe in the book. So that's
Mm,
why we have stories of
mm.
other, survivor of trauma in the book. And like I said to everyone, the book is not one size fits all. It's not for everybody. If you
Yeah.
like to read a book for your own education, for your own learning experience, is a book for you. If you a victim of trauma, you are still struggling with your past, is a book that I recommend for you. If you parents of children that have been through bullying,
Yeah.
sexual abuse, is a book for you. If you are parents, you are couples that you are going through divorce, there are certain things that I talked about in the book that we help parents to sort themselves out.
Mm,
Because like
mm.
the African proverb that says, when elephant fights, the grass suffers. So the
Offers. Yeah.
children, they
Yeah.
really, the divorce impact them, the separation of their
Yeah.
parents
They get
impacts
the
them as
brunt of it,
individuals.
right?
Exactly. So if you are going through that, the book is for you. If you, as a child, and maybe you are a teenager and your parents are divorced or separated, is a book that I recommend. And if you are struggling with drug misuse, illicit drug addiction, and all of that, and they are caregivers, this is a book that I recommend, because it's all about how you can navigate life despite trauma, despite
Yeah.
the pain of your trauma, how you can
Yeah.
heal
Yeah.
without going into destructive lifestyles. Because some people, we use destructive lifestyle, drugs, and all other means that is detrimental to their health to cope with their pain. So this book talks about how you can heal in a healthy way, how you
Nice.
can overcome your pain in a healthy way. So that's what the book is about.
Oh, thank you. All the time when you were speaking, the word that just kept coming to my heart, when you said survivor, I kept saying victor. When you said victim, I said victor. So it sounds like a book that shares with us principles on how to move from being that victim to a victor. That's what
Mhm.
I'm hearing. Would I be right in
Absolutely.
saying that?
Absolutely, you are correct. If God can help me turn my pain into gain, that I'm alive to share my story. Not so many people, not
Mm-hmm.
everyone is opportune to survive their
Yep.
pain. Some
Yep.
people have gone. If God can, spare my life and help me through my journey, God can do it to anyone and everybody. That
Man.
we embrace the principles in the book, the strategies that I put in the book. And it's been doing that already. I've been getting phone calls, people approaching me and saying, I read your book and this is what it has done for me. I'm grateful to God for making it a tool that can bring hope, that can bring
Man.
healing, that can help people to look at their life and say, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to turn a new leaf, I need to
Mm-hmm.
seek for help and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. It's great to hear that you've been getting reviews, phone calls, and things like that. But some of the people watching this video will be like, oh, you know, why wouldn't she say that? She's the author of the book. So why don't we read something from the book so that others who haven't had the opportunity can hear a bit of what's in the book, please?
Absolutely. If you have a copy of Triple Wood, you can join me in open to page 50. I want to read from page 50. Okay? I want to read from the second paragraph there. I read, those who were terribly wounded in their childhood didn't experience a normal life growing up. Their normal is likely not the same as their peers. Some may even create their own fantasy world. Their innate longing to be loved and protected could lead them into damaging situations. This is why predators target them. Bayonle can relate to this. After all, that's how she grew up. Your future lies in your own hands. Once you are old enough to make decisions on your own, and more so when you become an adult, you can say, enough is enough. I want to change my narrative. I want to rebrand my life. And I'm not a child anymore. So it's high time I stood up for myself and redefined my future. You're not a loser. You can achieve anything you want with perseverance. And you can let your healing journey begin today. How you begin your healing is totally up to you and what you want to focus on. There are experienced therapists you can work with. The power is in your hands. Oftentimes, we don't know the power embedded in us, or we misuse or misdirect the power. Taking the first step is the most difficult task in the healing process for childhood sexual abuse victims. Another challenge is fear, fear of what people will say or how people will react to their story has kept some survivors muted for so long. Bayonle experienced this fear, but even though the damage has been done, repair is possible. Seek help. Use the power of your voice by telling someone that can listen and help. Go for counseling. Look for resources available to you locally. Some countries have helplines for victims of abuse. Pick up the phone, call that number. It is important to talk to people that are trained so you avoid being re-traumatized. The goal of therapy is to provide safety, choice, and control to victims. People that are not trained may not know how to approach your situation or know the right questions to ask. If you have children or plan to have children in the future, I suggest you watch out for them, even as you take care of you. Do all you can to protect your children from predators. Start by developing a good relationship with them such that they can trust you enough to share anything with you. As we saw in past story in the previous of this book, parent-child relationships shouldn't be servant-master relationship. In this type of relationship, the children don't feel loved and aren't able to share their struggles with their parents. On the other hand, parents should not become passive and turn a blind eye when their children need to be corrected. Your love for your children will propel you to discipline them with love.
Nice, nice, nice. Wow. A couple of things, jumped out at me as you were reading. And now a couple more things, are just coming through my mind. And I'm just, going to touch on one or two of them. I like the fact that you mentioned that it's important to tell someone who can listen and help, not just someone who can help, but someone who can listen, because that also ties into, the paragraph you just read that talks about being there for our children so that they can share anything with us. And it's only when, as parents, we listen even to those seemingly insignificant things, that our children would then be willing to share the significant with us. And then, of course, I like the last line, about your love being the thing to propel you to discipline your children. There's a passage in the Bible that says a failure to discipline is a failure to love. So, thank you. This is the book definitely that I'm looking forward to reading, but I'm sure some people would want to get their hands on it. So how can people get copies of your book?
It's available on Amazon. So ebook is available there. Paperback is available on Amazon worldwide. And here in Saskatoon, it's available at Kennedy's Parable.
Okay.
People can also go to the website, gettriplehood.com. So they can link on Amazon from there as well. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. We'll add all that information below this video. But I just have to ask this because as an author myself, I love autographing, personalizing my autographs and sending out autograph books when people order. So there may be some people who would say, yeah, Amazon, I'd like to get an autographed copy. How can they do that?
That's a very good question. I've been sending autograph copies to people, even in the States, because people will request. I've had a request from the state that, I can buy it on Amazon, but I want your signature on it.
That's right.
So, yeah, I can do that too. And so they can send me an email on triplehood03@gmail.com.
Okay.
Triplehood03@gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure some people may be watching more than writing. So we'll put that information at the bottom of the video here. Absolutely. Just before I let you go, what would you want people to take away? Sweet, short, what would you want people to take away as they read your book?
As a parent to two young adults myself, each time I pick up the book and read it, it speaks volume to me. So as if whatever the state that you are, maybe you are a parent, show love to your children. Listen to them. Don't ignore them. Maybe you've been traumatized in the past. Yes, it happens. Life happens. You have to move past your pain and move on. You don't spill a milk and just feel pity for yourself. You have to move forward. So, yeah, you look back. Why did I fall? But then you don't stay back. Don't stay behind. Look forward. How can I be free? How can I get out of this problem? How can I get out of my pain? How can I get out of my addiction? So seek help, seek counsel, seek therapy. There are help out there. There are resources out there. There are places you can go to receive healing and get and be free from the pain of your trauma. And for their caregivers as well, the caregiver of people that are struggling with drug misuse, support them, pray for them, seek help for them. There are so many institutions out there. There are so many support groups that you can join that will help you to help your loved ones. And above all, let God help you.
Amen. I love that. That talk about icing on the cake. Thank you so much for joining me in the Quip Corners Book Corner.
Thank you for having me. I am so thankful. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're most welcome. God bless you.
Amen. You as well.
Amen. I'm always amazed and very respectful of people who step up to tell their story. This book sounds like one to get. Oh, did I mention that mine was autographed? Well, it is. But I'm looking forward to reading it. You'll get information on how you can get your copy or copies of this book below. Until we catch up again, you take care. And like she said, let God help you. Whatever your circumstance, let God help you. Bye now.